Rob, I want to thank you very much for obviously doing this and taking the time to meet with me right now.
Of course.
You've had a big impact on me and my company, maybe more so than you even realize yourself. So I wanted to take a few moments to just kind of go back to 9 years ago, tell you why I reached out to you initially, and how reaching out to you and your willingness to even respond to it has kind of changed the trajectory of our company. We are celebrating 10 years in March.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way. And for a man that's just done incredible work for 10 years, I'm honored that I play a part in the history itself, but the fact that we get to go down memory lane, because I love hearing you talk about it. It's funny to me, but like really getting the details on what happened, because it was all blur to me. So I'd love to get your context, and then I'll tell you mine to see where we meet and all the projects that we actually ended up doing. I would love to go through too.
For sure.
Yeah.
So Street League Skateboarding was in its very first season. I was just a huge fan of what was about to happen there. So I flew out to Ontario to that first season there and just sat in the stands as a fan. And I remember thinking that year, I had just gone out freelance, was working by myself out of my house, and I was thinking to myself, someday I'm going to be creating all of the graphics for the Street League Skateboarding on a Jumbotron, like TV broadcast, like I'm going to do it. I don't know how, but I just sat in those stands, and that was literally what I was thinking while I was attending that. So then the following season, Street League put out on Twitter an email address saying, if you want to be an intern for Street League Skateboarding, email this address.
Okay.
So I was thinking to myself.
And so at this point, for context, you don't, have you started ABC yet? Or, and it's just you by yourself?
Yes.
At this point, no employees, nothing?
Nothing,
Man, this is great.
So I was thinking to myself when I saw that tweet go out, I don't want to be an intern, but somebody's looking at emails.
Yeah.
So I typed up this whole proposal, and the proposal was basically like, okay, I can tell Street League is being branded by non-skateboarders on like the broadcast graphics side of things. A skateboarder needs to be involved in this, and it's got to be me. And so I typed up a full proposal, and I sent it to that email address for the internships. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. What if I could just like guess Rob's email address? So I just started guessing email addresses for you. And I got a response back. Okay. And the response back.
But you went through, did you go like Rob at Street League, like
anything,
and then you just went Rob at Deer Deck, like you go Rob, you did them all?
I did them all, yeah. And so
did you try them each individually in your hustle, or did you like lock them all?
Oh no, individually,
Okay.
I'm not, you got to put the work in. So not a group, so individually was just guessing email addresses, and then I got a response back.
Yeah.
And that response said, let's do this. And that's it. It was just, let's do this. And so I was like, okay, somebody's messing with me because they know I'm guessing Rob's email address, and they're just like poking fun at me or whatever. And I was thinking, I'm freaking out because I had just suggested like a year's worth of work, and all I got back was a let's do this.
Yeah.
And so then about 24 hours later, Brian Atlas hit me up.
Okay.
And Brian Atlas says to me, he's like, congratulations, man. He's like, you have a better chance of winning the lottery than you do Rob Dyrdek looking at a cold email, let alone caring about what he saw in that cold email. Yeah. And Brian was like, Rob saw your work, he loved it, and he told me to reach out to you.
Yeah. Well, look, I like getting cold emails. I think it's funny. I think it's incredibly rare that it does ever make that leap. But I think it's the reality of what actually you presented was a really high quality level of work. right? And I think, you know, I don't like know the specific. Like when I think about me just saying let's do this and moving on, it's really really funny to me. And I feel like there's so many other like pro skaters and people I know that have like similar stories, you know, of like where like inside my universe, but. To me, the idea of understanding, trying to just get somebody to understand skateboarding, as you know, is this massive delta, right? Like they think they kind of know, but it's virtually almost impossible if you don't come from the world, because you end up thinking like, oh, this like rocket flip, like motion grab is perfect, right? Like, but it was ultimately the quality of the stuff that was like, man, like he really, especially if he's this passionate about skateboarding, already knows Street League, like what he could actually do for us goes way beyond what we were even doing in that. But even then it's still a dice roll, right? Where I'm still just like, who knows, you know what I mean? You could, there's a million times where I'll engage with somebody from something cold and they just end up being crazy, you know what I mean? And it really never goes anywhere, and they never like amount to anything other than like some sort of crazy run, you know what I mean? And a lot of times in the Fantasy Factory days, we just made TV shows around them, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times, so. But I think even for me, when I think about it, like, then what was the transition? Did you start doing a little bit of graphics and then you took it over completely? What was your actual path in it?
So after talking with Brian, I think it was maybe a couple months went by, and we're probably in between seasons or something like that. And so I never really got an opportunity to work with you guys. But what's crazy is the Barracks has that competition, the United Nations, where they accept like, you know, different films from different skate crews from around the country or around the world, really. So one of the skate crews was out of Dallas, and they were called Dream. And I skated with them all the time. I wasn't as good as those guys, and I was quite a bit older, but I was friends with them. We skated together quite a bit, and they asked me if I would do motion graphics for their submission.
But you skated in that too, right?
Yeah.
You got your go-tos.
Yep.
What's your go-to?
I got the five go-tos.
What's your go-to?
It's the 5-0 tray flip.
It is, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a pretty serious go-to.
Right? So they won that competition, and I flew out with them, and we filmed at the Barracks. While they were filming at the Barracks, I hit up Brian Atlas and I was like, all right, we've been talking about doing work. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm not in Los Angeles very often. Can I come over and talk to you more about it? So while they were filming their part for United Nations, I skated over. This was the old Barracks, so I skated from the old Barracks to Deerdick Enterprises, where the Fantasy Factory was. Yeah. Met up with him, and that kind of sealed the deal, and then that's how we started actually working
together. How much longer, how far into that was that? Was that like a year later?
Probably maybe like 4 or 5 months, maybe.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about, that's why I ended up in that building in the first place, is because before the Barracks became the Barracks, I was the only one with keys, and Steve and Eric never went there. Yeah. So like I skated there, we skated there literally like 7 nights a week, and nobody was ever there. It was just Steve and Eric's park, right? And Steve was making movies, and Eric just never went down there. And that's why, like, when I found the building, and it was like right across the street, but brand new, I was like, this is perfect. We already come here every day. But of course, that went on to haunt me many years later, when really I'm just next to like a giant trash dump,
right?
Like on the east side of downtown. You know what I mean? It's in a warehouse.
Yep. Yeah, so that sealed the deal. We started working together, and 9 years later, we're still supporting Street League skateboarding.
That's amazing.
Graphics, and in that time, you've been generous enough to have us work with you on MTV shows. Yeah. So we've done motion graphics for you for Ridiculousness. Yeah. We did Fantasy Factory motion graphics at one point.
What's the Snack Off?
We did branded Snack Off. Not Exactly News. So several MTV shows, and then
did you do the Flames on Firepower when we were doing the with Tom Jones, when we were doing like the Firepower Energy thing?
Yes.
Do you do the flames on the?
I believe so. I
Yeah.
definitely did one with flames where like Nyjah Houston was going down the rail and had flames on it and stuff like that.
That was a pitch for a supplement brand called Firepower.
Yes.
With the Kanye song.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a sick
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned Tom Jones too, because if you think about that cold email, that has changed the trajectory of our company, that you gave me a chance, because Tom went on to work at Nixon.
Yep.
And then that gave us an opportunity to work directly with Lucasfilms on Star Wars watch releases. And then we also got to work directly with Disney on some 90th anniversary watch releases for Nixon over there.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
So for me, I am just super grateful that you took a chance on somebody that's in Texas and not in Los Angeles, and allowed us to work with you.
I'm grateful that you became such a success. You know what I mean? It makes it a lot more fun to have such a story, right?
Yeah.
There's probably many cold emails. I said, let's do this, and then the person like literally has like a shitty job now. So it's like it's also a beautiful thing to watch the progression of everything that you've done and how it's just gotten higher and higher, and that you've always done excellent work, and I think you've always put together great teams and super reliable. And you know, even when I think of how amazing like Bass in the Trunk, what was the name of the song?
Oh yeah, Chanel West Coast.
What was her song?
Bass in the Trunk music
Bass
video.
in the Trunk, even like that, like
that green screen shoot.
yeah, it's like even the beauty of that is like we were able to write this whole episode around it. Then you still delivered this insane like video to go with sort of this big made-for-TV concept type of thing. So, you know, like I appreciate all the work that you've done and everything that we've done, and I love the fact that it started from something as simple as a cold email, but it's the ambition, you know. And at the end of the day, it should be a testament, like if you really want to create your own path and take these leaps, as I like to say, a quantum leap, you got to take a shot at finding something that could really change your trajectory, to actually change your trajectory, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hope you don't stop doing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know you don't. I mean, even in the email you sent me here, it had some sort of like, just in case like the Dude Perfect guys are in town and need some graphics, right? Like, but I think you just keep taking those shots, you know what I mean? Like, because think about what that sort of evolved into. And there's no reason, even at success, you shouldn't be taking a shot at Disney, trying to do something for Disney or whatever else it might be, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So we celebrate 10 years in March of our company. We are 11 employees now, and we're moving into a brand new 4,800 square foot building that we just bought and are renovating. So
looks amazing.
Yeah, so from, you know,
is it thrilling? Do you feel like you're like in your dream space and like you're thriving? Like, is it like, are you in this perfectly like I made it space by getting into this new venue?
We've far exceeded anything that I set out to do years ago, you know? So it's just, now it's just a blessing, and then figuring out how to maximize our opportunities to the best of our abilities, because 10 years ago, if I had told you, hey, I plan to build a 3D animation studio and we're gonna work with Nike and Adidas and Under Armour and Street League Skateboarding and the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, and we're gonna do it from Wiley, Texas. And you reverse engineer that, that doesn't look too good. You know, so the fact that we're able to do it and we haven't had to move, it's allowed us to stay in Texas where the overhead is lower. You can buy a building in Texas without too many problems, you know? And so, moving into this space, it's funny. We have a very open work environment, and this will be the first time that I'm going into my own office.
Is that like in the loft? Is that where your office is?
It's in the loft, and I kid you not, I thought back to like even like this and then the Fantasy Factory where your office was, and I thought to myself as I was planning it out, I said, where would Rob Dyrdek put his office if he was putting it in this building? Like, where would it be? Because I think he's got some high level thinking when it comes to creative spaces.
Yeah. But I'm a show off too, you know what I'm saying? Like, you work with a team in an open work environment. I put myself in a giant building inside the building by myself, you know what I mean? So I got my giant corner of the penthouse all by myself.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna have my own office for the first time, and it's gonna be pretty sweet. So.
Yeah, good for you. No, I mean, I like it because I think you're genuinely happy, and I think like you've achieved success on balanced terms, you know, raising kids and still having the adventure side of it and doing it thoughtfully, and you know, creative services is a tough business, you know, in the sense of like you got to keep hunting, right? Like in the sense of what the work that comes in over time, you know what I mean? But I think that you've even learned how to do that in a super balanced way. And at the end of the day, 10 years ago, you wanted to do what you love and be successful just to ultimately live a great life, you know what I mean? And it looks to me like that's what you've done, which I, you know, respect more than anything, you know.
Well, I appreciate the inspiration and the opportunity, so.
Great, heck yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats, man.
Appreciate it.
Great, great, man. ABC, man.
Thank you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to a Mograph Live special. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. And of course, joining us because we're touring his new studio, Barton Damer with Already Been Chewed.
What's up? Are you unmuted?
Unmute yourself.
Where's he at?
There we go.
What's
There
up,
we
man?
go.
How's it going?
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for staying away and not joining me in the space.
Right.
Circumstance.
Right. You're gonna take us on a little tour, as well as kind of like we're gonna show some videos that have to do with some of the things. You're gonna show us some background. We're gonna show some photos that you got. So,
Dave, you got a little quiet.
Oh, it got a little quiet, like I do. How's that? Any better? No.
Nope.
No, always
There
with
you go.
the quiet. Oh, there it is. All right.
Always with the
So,
quiet, there you
so what we're gonna do is check out some behind the scenes. We're gonna see some photos, some before and after. Talk about your history a little bit. We're gonna ask some questions. We're gonna get questions from the audience as well. So this will be a lot of fun. You were originally, for people who don't know, we were going to have this cool little 2-day thing that was going to start tonight, and we're really disappointed that we couldn't do it. It was going to start with your grand opening party and followed by DFWC4D tomorrow. So
Yeah, and you may have seen we posted this, but we actually capped it out and cut off registrations at 275 people.
wow.
So thanks to everybody that registered. Of those 275, there were a large portion that were actually flying in town for it too. So,
Yeah.
Originally when I hit you guys up, the goal was to put 2 events together that might make it worth people's while to fly in town for. And it sounded like we did it, but Corona got her way. So
Mm-hmm.
here we are.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So we're gonna make the best of it, and we're gonna do a little tour here. What do you want to start with, Barton?
Before we jump straight into the tour, I figured I would kind of explain some of the background as to how we got where we are as far as studio spaces go. So let's pull up some of the old remodeling pictures, because this is actually the 4th studio remodel that my wife and I have done. It's a lot of fun for me to design these spaces. I enjoy it quite a bit. When it comes to interior design, I'm definitely like a one-hit wonder as far as that goes. I've got one style. You'll see that one style repeated in all 4 spaces, but it's something that I love doing. And so just the opportunity to be able to renovate this space and create an environment where people can really get creative was just super exciting for me as a designer and as an artist. So if you've got any of the original pictures of some of the old studios. We can kind of
The old
thumb through those.
studios. Okay, cool. I'll bring up first of all. I'll bring up your team here.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So this is most of the team. I got a shout out to Chad Mosley, who had not joined our team at this time, so he is not in that picture. We were hoping to get a team picture in the new building, but all the social distancing has kind of put a damper on that.
Yeah.
So we don't have the most updated picture, but this is close from our Christmas party. So shout out to the entire team at ABC.
Look at that.
There we go.
You're a
So,
baby in that picture.
I know.
Yeah, very first studio space right there. And that is just an office off of the foyer in my house. One thing to note, we actually still live in the exact same house from before I even started ABC Studio. So we're still in that house.
Wow. What's in that room now?
That room, Sandra works out of that room. She works remote for ABC most of the time. And she is my wife that's doing the finances and communicating with accountants and paychecks and things like that.
Cool. We got this remodel.
So in 2012, that's the very first, I guess, remodel that we did. This is actually a spare bedroom in my house. So I was hiring my first person, but that person, there's no telling what's going to happen when you hire your first person. Are they going to be with you for 6 months? Or are they going to be with you for 6 years? So the first step was let's at least create a environment that feels like this person has a real job working with me. So after they, trip over toys and stumble up the stairs and get in this extra spare bedroom, we close the door and we feel like we're in an actual studio space. And so it was pretty fun building that space out. We would post pictures on the internet and people just assumed that we were in a downtown, deep outlet loft or something like that. And for the most part, nobody ever knew that it was just a spare bedroom in my house. And so it was definitely a very cool studio space. And currently it is my 19-year-old son's bedroom. So I'm super jealous of him and his bedroom. Yeah.
It's a sweet style. You look at it, it doesn't look like a bedroom at all. You got brick on the wall,
For sure. And so then in 2013, it was time to start hiring more people that then could fit in my spare bedroom. And so this was one of the first and biggest, I should say scariest moves, is actually moving out of the house. Because at this point, you're essentially doubling your utilities, you're doubling your internet bill, everything is being doubled at that point. So it is kind of a scary moment to make that decision. And so for me, I knew that if I couldn't find the right design space, I didn't want to move out of the house. I would have been perfectly fine just being like a freelancer and just having to say no to work. So it was just crucial for me to be able to find the right spot. And so we found this historic building that was only like 4 miles away from my house. And it was actually all carpet and cubicles. But if you look super close in the top left corner, you could see a glimpse of brick wall there. And that's all I needed.
Yeah.
So I talked to the owners, convinced them to let me basically tear everything down and renovate the space. And you can see one of those pictures there is a friend of mine, Hat Seal, painting the very first mural in an ABC studio space. And his work continues on, as you'll see in our timeline here. So the very next picture, that's the finished, remodeled studio space from the first space that we leased when we moved out of the house.
This was the first studio we saw, and it was it's a gorgeous space,
Thank you. Yeah, and that was something that actually stressed me out quite a bit. Was I had spent money to renovate this space, but I was leasing it, right? So I was terrified that at the end of my 5-year lease, the rates were going to go up on me because I had just made that space worth a whole lot more money. And so only about 2 years into being in that space, I started shopping property, hoping to be able to purchase something. And we ended up purchasing an old historical building, and we're able to renovate that building. You got any pictures of that
Let's
next
see what
one?
I got here. Is this now? What is
That's that's the outside of the building we were leasing, just
the
for
leasing?
reference.
Yeah, and then this is the new one here,
This is the
the
new one.
newer one. Yeah.
Yeah, that we moved into or moved out of, I should say, about a month ago. And we bought that building exactly 4 years ago, and then started renovating it. And so we've got some before and after pictures to share.
Wow.
That's a before, what it looked like on the outside.
Yeah, and then you got
That's
What
the
was it?
after.
What was it about this space that you really liked?
The brick walls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was important to me not to be in any kind of a corporate environment. I always
Yeah.
view art as like, I like the idea of walking past an art gallery and seeing an artist painting, and we're kind of the same way. We're just on monitors rather than canvases with paintbrushes. So I liked the idea of foot traffic going by, and it provided entertainment for us during the day.
and then
So that's
yeah.
that's what it looked like, renovated. You have a before picture?
I don't know. Let's see. Maybe this is. Oh yeah.
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 Let me zoom that in. Wow.
Oh man.
Not even
There's a
recognizable. Man.
Yeah.
Still had those brick walls. That's good.
Yeah.
Got another view right
There's
here.
a back room. That's what it looked like after we renovated it.
And the last one and this one here.
Yep. And then that was the before picture.
Of the
Yeah.
back room?
Yeah. Yep.
Jeez.
Wow.
There was like a hair salon back there, an Avon store, dressing room. There were like four businesses running out of that building.
That's funny.
Jeez.
Basically an emporium.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to go to now? You want to look at some before pics of the new building?
So we got to a place in the old building where we were starting to max it out as far as number of people that I felt comfortable working there, which is crazy because when we bought the building 4 years ago, it felt huge. So it's just been amazing to basically like fill that building and hope to have another place to go. And again, for me, the work environment is super important. So it made me a little nervous that we were about to max that building out. And if we needed to grow or had to grow for whatever reason, we were kind of stuck because I can't move all these people into the area and then, buy a building 45 minutes away and expect people to be stoked that we're moving into a new building. And
Yeah.
guess what? Your commute sucks now.
Yeah.
So I started looking for other properties, which is typically what I do on a Friday night. And when I found this building, it was only 2 blocks away from where we currently are.
It's insane how close it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got insanely lucky that that it's such a good space and it's such a short move,
Yes, it's only 2 blocks away. This new building is built in 2014, even though it's in the historic district. And our previous building was built in the late 1800s. So
Wow.
we have all kind of the upgraded, environmental friendly, windows and things like that. So it's great.
Internet.
Yeah, it's great being in a newer building for sure.
You want to?
So
Yeah. You want to pull up some of these?
some pictures. We'll talk about what that building was.
Yeah, yeah.
when we purchased it.
Look at this. Check this out.
Yeah, so these are some before pictures. It was an antique emporium.
It was like a consignment store, right?
Yeah, they had like vendors set up booths, and they would sell their antiques from their
Knick-knack.
individual booths and things like that.
Man, a lot of stuff. You gotta let's see. So this is all in the front. You got 2 stories there.
Yep. Nice, huge ceilings, loft, and lots of stuff.
Man.
Has the owner who sold it to you come back by to check out the new place yet?
Not yet. I think more than likely we're gonna have them, make sure they came out to the party tonight.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Corona.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I got a ton more photos here. I don't know which one you want to go to, or if you want to start. You want to talk about construction before we go on the tour?
Let's talk about the renders. You got the renders?
Oh yeah, that's right. I do have some renders here. Here we go.
Yeah. So when we purchased this building, you can hang on this render for a moment. Yeah, when we purchased this building, I had a lot of fun jumping into cinema and just throwing in really quick, primitive shapes. I wasn't putting in a lot of details to desks and doorknobs, all that stuff, but putting some basic textures where I thought they would go, trying to figure out, where I wanted an office to be, things like that. So I did a ton of different floor plans, had fun experimenting with all of that, and eventually kind of settled on this. And it's interesting, I'd actually been following this group of guys on Instagram for several years now. They're called 44 Build. I believe their Instagram handle is @44DTX. And I was just a huge fan of their work and all of the renovations they've done. They do some co-working spaces around the DFW area. What are they called? Common Desk. Mm-hmm. So they've done all those renovations, and they work with a ton of different clients. But I had seen some of their Common Desk work, and it literally just saved it, in my Instagram feeds.
Yeah.
For inspirational interior design and things like that, with no real intention of ever working with them. Like, it wasn't even on my radar that someday I might get a chance to work with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when I bought the building, part of my process was creating renders of this building that we don't really have here, but I wanted to make sure if I couldn't work with this group of guys, that I could at least be happy with this building by doing paint upgrades or simpler things that wouldn't require quite the craftsmanship that they bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so I had a backup plan, but got excited, reached out to them, and just such a small world because, as you guys know, I come from a skateboarding background. Mm-hmm. When I reached out to the guys at 44 Build, Ryan's the owner and Josiah is one of the main designers. And Josiah is a skateboarder that used to build skateboard ramps for an event called Downtown Throwdown here in Dallas. So just a super small world and just another kind of skateboard connection through ABC to be able to convince these guys to take on this project and work with me on it. So super fun, super dream come true working with those guys, and they absolutely did a gorgeous job of taking this initial 3D render and then really upping it and pushing the craftsmanship on everything that they built out. So the next render you'll see is just kind of their CAD renderings of taking my initial ideas and actually putting specs behind it so that it'll work from a architecture standpoint. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we were getting ready to turn this emporium into. So let's check out some of the construction pictures and then we'll take a tour.
Cool.
So this was after all the antiques were cleared out. Or just all the antiques are gone now.
Yeah, they finally took out all those walls too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the ceiling is now black and some of the framework is going up.
Uh-huh. I love the angles.
Yeah.
Like the angles on the rooms and stuff like that. Man, that's so awesome.
Yeah. So this is well into the process and getting close to the finish line there. And then, so let me talk about this for a moment. This is a picture showing all the tagging in the building, which was super fun. A friend of mine I mentioned earlier, Hat Seal, I wanted him to paint some murals in here, but I also had this idea of, everything was going to feel high end in here, and so I wanted to kind of, I don't know, give it a little bit more of a vibe and add some tagging to it. But I wanted to make sure it wasn't like, detailed out murals or graffiti or anything like that. I wanted it to look like fast, illegal graffitis, like bombs,
Yeah.
tags, things like that. And a huge source of that inspiration was just New York City for sure. There's a new Supreme store off of Lafayette, and the whole building at the bottom of the building is tagged. And so Hatziel got a group of 4 guys to come up with him, who shall remain nameless because they do this in Dallas all the time. And so it was super fun. Like I literally had like a creative brief together, showed them examples of the types of tagging and graffiti that I wanted or didn't want. Said, layered over the top of each other, things like that. And that night was a lot of fun. Like the very first person was real hesitant. He kind of looked at me like,
You sure you want
to? I know. I saw that and I was like, oh man, you're showing these pictures and it was so clean. Everything looks so clean. Then all of a sudden there's tags everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Yep.
I don't know if I would have the guts to do that.
Yeah. I mean, everybody that night was super hesitant, and then after about 30 seconds, they went like crazy, and it turned out amazing.
That's funny.
There you go.
So, yeah, I got to join the party, do some of my amateur tags.
I hope you saved that mask.
I know. Right?
Yeah. And then we got this one here.
Yeah, that was the group of us. Hatziel on the far right there.
And then there's a couple other construction.
Yep, more going up.
Cool.
That's the loft area.
So what is so who works where then at this point? Who's in the loft? Is it all? Is everybody upstairs? Everybody downstairs? Split?
We will get to that. You ready to skip through these and go straight to the tour?
Yeah, I think we should probably do that. Let me. I'm gonna skip over here to you, and
all right, cool.
Feel free to turn around your camera whenever you want. We can start walking around.
Yeah, I'm gonna start in the kitchen before we do kind of like the big, huge reveal of everything here. So let me turn this around. All right, so this is our kitchen. Got the ABC logo over here. And we got subway tiles.
I love the gray grout on the subway tiles. It's a good contrast.
Up here with some metal backsplashes. Countertops are like a quartz that kind of look like concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Got a real nice big island here where we're able to kind of congregate around, eat lunches, have morning breakfast on Monday meetings, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's go this way. So the guys at 44 came up with a way to not only do kind of cubicle partitions, but to be able to display products. So these are all products that we've done campaigns for.
Dude.
Every single one of these, shoes, watches, you name it. We've done campaigns for every single one of these.
Good Lord, man. How many shoes you got there?
I don't know, but there's an upstairs too.
Wow.
The problem is it's only the left shoe.
Right.
Yep. So, we put these on display. We got to do some Star Wars watches, as you guys are familiar with. And I think we've got that if you want to cue that up. And if anybody's not familiar with what we did for those, we just chose one to be able to play back here tonight.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can bring this video up here. Make sure I'm doing this right. Here we go. I apologize for blowing everybody's eardrums up, probably. You'll just have to. You'll have to cover your ears next time.
Are those live plants or are they fake?
They are fake. There's no way I can
No.
keep like
Yeah.
40-some plants alive. Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah.
not a chance. Yep.
And you wouldn't want them to
And
leak
then,
all over the shoes either, you know?
Yeah, right.
uh, let's go in here. This is our small conference room. I'll give you a view from out here.
Oh, rad. I love the
And-
vertical
Oh, I haven't
TV.
seen that. That's
awesome, dude.
fun.
We've actually done so much vertical content for, of course, Instagram and things like that these days.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we decided to mount the TV vertical in this conference room. So yeah, and then
That's
as
cool.
we come over here, we got concrete walls,
Nice.
and then this is a mural that Hatziel painted for me. And
Hmm.
I hit him up and I was like, hey, you know that thing you do with like all the naked chicks? Is there any way you could replace it with like a statue of an angel?
That's funny.
So Hatziel was able to take his style and apply it to my request to put like an angel statue into the mural.
Oh yeah, let me go back to full screen over here. Yeah, good idea. Thanks, Jeff. Cool.
And then we got very cool acid washed metal table that 44 build created.
Cool.
Yeah. And then the view in here is pretty cool. If you look out, you get a little sneak peek into the rest of the studio.
Gosh, that's so pretty.
We got sliding doors here. See if I can show that handiwork off that they did here.
Those things heavy?
No, they did an amazing job on those. So once you're in here, you know, you can't really hear anything. You can have a great conference call.
Awesome.
Yeah. So pretty cool little room.
Where are we headed now?
Let's pull up the, since we're right here, let's pull up and just share the Vans 50th anniversary spot, since this is on display right here.
All right, here we go with back at it again.
I
With
love
the,
this
with the
spot.
white Vans.
Nah. I love that spot. It's one of my favorites.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, that was obviously, as a skateboarder, a blast to be able to work on the 50th anniversary for Vans.
Yeah.
This is just kind of one of my favorite views in the studio is
Yeah.
looking down this hallway and
That's
seeing
cool.
the tags at the end of the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Is there a
cool.
reason you decided to go with just the straight like wall versus like putting in brick and then tagging it? You know,
What do you mean?
On the back?
on the yeah in the back, like the back graffiti and stuff like that. Like instead of like putting in brick and then graffitiing over it instead of
Yeah.
just like leaving it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's very expensive to add the brick to all the
Yeah.
walls.
Mhm.
And for future, if I need to sell the building at some point,
Yeah.
it's easy to just paint these walls white or
That's
trim
true.
black or metal black,
Right.
versus having to, like, go over and do, you know, paint over the bricks.
Yeah.
There's a
So
question.
this
in,
is our
question in the
is
chat
our-
about the brand of white chair. I think in the conference room.
yeah, I don't know the brand. I can tell you I got almost everything off of overstock.com.
Nice.
Okay.
This is our large conference room. As you guys remember, that table was in the center of our last studio.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we got a TV mounted for conference calls, meetings, things like that.
Rad.
Got your podcast mic.
We do. Yep, we do. We've got concrete walls over here. Another mural from Hatfield.
So rad.
Man, how long did that take?
He did this one in 2 days and the other one in 2 days.
Dang.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, not at all.
Quick work.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
And then view from inside the conference room.
How do you connect if you guys are doing video, showing screens and stuff? Can you do all that wirelessly?
Yes, wirelessly, or we have, computers connected to them, things like that.
Cool.
So here's one of our main walls that's been tagged here. And then we have just like a gallery wall right here.
Oh, that's cool.
Some of the artwork that we've done. This was Nike Golf. Band's 50th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And then a recent one done for Malibu Boats.
Oh, yeah, the Malibu.
Yeah, that one was a super sweet spot that y'all did.
Yeah.
So then coming this way, we've got a large just kind of table to gather around if we want quick meetings or if we just want to say, hey, come over here, let's just meet quickly and talk through something on my laptop. It's this, gather and stand around. We can eat food around it. And it is acid washed metal. It's so beautiful.
Oh, really?
This is 44 build did this, and it's ridiculous.
Wow.
That's cool.
Pretty.
Is that rendered in Houdini?
Yeah. Wow,
Right?
render engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unreal, man. This is so unreal. Here's one of my favorite spots. We've got the elevator here. And these are actual reclaimed bricks off of buildings in New York City.
That's
Really?
so awesome.
Yes.
I love
No.
the chunkiness of the
grout.
the grout.
Yeah.
Yeah, no faux bricks. This is literally reclaimed off of and shipped to us from New York City.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
And then I got, of course, the King of New York here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. The question everybody wants to know, what's in the inside of the elevator?
Right?
Is it,
Yeah.
is it tagged as well?
Is it a homeless man?
Yeah, there's a guy that lives in there. Real
Actually,
authentic.
we haven't done anything interesting inside of the elevator yet,
Yeah.
but we might. It's also not very time efficient to take the elevator. We're still,
Yeah, right?
yeah, we're still waiting on it, but there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Oh,
did
nice.
go
Oh, that's
the
cool.
Stencil. Through
Don't
the stencil on the ground.
just don't take it up. We'll probably lose you. You know how it goes in an elevator.
Yeah. No, we're not going to go up. We're not going to go up. So, okay. So to answer your question from a while ago, because of like the whole social distancing thing, we have a variety of people working remote now. And until they tell us like we can't be coming into work, period, we have distanced ourselves out. So there's like, we're literally like in the far corners of the studio from each other. So we
Right.
only have a couple people downstairs and a couple people upstairs, and then a lot of people working remote. We just kind of gave people the option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you could play
That's
ping
cool.
pong if you want to.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
That's funny. What do you got in there?
This is just a storage closet underneath the stairs, but more of the brick. We're gonna plant these plants eventually.
Cool. Are those real or fake?
Some are real, some are fake.
All
We got a
right.
mixture going on. So this is kind of our lobby hangout area. We have the entire crew come here for like Monday morning meetings,
Hmm.
and we meet here, and then we have our basketball hoop TV.
That's rad.
That's
And
awesome.
I got this idea, stole it from Flight Club in New York City. It's a big sneaker store.
Hmm.
Theirs was just running TV content back, and so of course we had to one up them as a motion graphics studio and actually create graphics in the
Right.
shape of a backboard here with the square up there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
The thing
cool.
that's really cool is for these meetings, um, it lowers, so it'll come down, and I can actually touch the screen and point to it to be able to talk through things in a meeting.
That's
Now,
rad.
how does it hold
So
up
can you
against a
actually shoot?
basketball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Can you shoot hoops on it?
Yeah, we have a stuffed basketball that's not a real.
Ah,
Yeah, we can't shoot a real one, but a stuffed one works well, and we just try not to bank it.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
yeah.
dunk on it or something.
No. We've got a bar here.
I love the bar.
That's cool.
Hang
That,
out,
yeah,
eat
it
lunch
adds
or
so much
whatever.
extra space and stuff like that. It's really nice.
Yeah. And this is kind of the what I call the hero shot angle of the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
And it would have been so packed tonight.
So packed.
Yeah.
We had so many people sponsoring it, and we had food trucks that were going to be out in the parking lot, so that like not everybody would have to cram inside. So yeah, it's the thought that counts, though. We're stoked that so
Right.
many people took interest, and that we had so much support from people.
And it's not officially canceled, right? Just
Right.
postponed.
I mean, we just gotta see what happens. Obviously,
Yeah.
if this thing comes through and we can schedule for the end of May, we might do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time it's all over, who knows? You may be in a new space.
Right.
So now we're heading up to the loft. While I'm here, I made sure the guys like graffiti tagged random locations throughout the building so
cool.
that it looked kind of authentic.
Yeah. What was the hardest part for them to graffiti?
The hardest?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably
Huh.
those, because they had to get up pretty high on a ladder to.
I was gonna say, do you think there's any that you haven't noticed yet?
No, they were pretty heavily art directed as far as location.
Yeah. They'll find an Easter egg in a couple years.
Right.
So again, because of the social distancing, there's only a few people up here.
Yeah.
We got them spread out far away from each other.
How many people will fit upstairs?
I believe it's 12 plus myself, so 13.
Wow. And how many people do you have working for you?
11.
Wow. That's awesome.
More brick.
Cool. Man, how many tons of brick did you bring in?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So here's kind of a hero shot view of the upstairs.
I love the giant skateboard wheel on the wall.
Yes. Yeah, Sergio is an artist that's actually from Dallas. And as we're talking about Sergio, he also created this piece right here.
I saw that.
Man.
I saw that on your Instagram. It's so cool.
And what's awesome is he put an ABC tattoo on the arm.
Oh, that's rad. That's super rad.
What is that made
Yeah.
of?
I'm not sure.
Is it?
I honestly don't know. But this was pretty cool. I originally saw his work at the Seventh Letter off of Fairfax in Los Angeles.
Mhm.
He did a screaming hand, like the Santa Cruz screaming hand with the mouth and the tongue coming off. And it was done, photorealistic like this. And Donnie and I actually saw it when we were on a business trip to LA. And he hit me up when I started posting pictures about the new studio and said, hey, Hatziel told me you might be interested in some artwork for the new studio. and he's from DFW, and I had no idea because
That's crazy.
I originally saw his work in Los Angeles and had no clue that he was in Dallas.
That's awesome.
Is it squishy or is it hard?
Oh no!
Right? You just want to poke it.
I know you just want
No,
to touch it.
Yeah. Yep. We've got a nice G-Shock watch, one of the
Yeah.
ones we did a spot for.
Yeah.
Then we've got our more like kind of a gallery wall here with a couch.
Oh, nice.
And that's actually over there. That's the old sign
Yeah, I
off
was
of
gonna
the front
say.
of the old building.
Oh yeah.
And
Do you have one on the new building?
We're gonna have it hung over there on the bricks,
Mhm.
and
Cool.
it'll light up, which will be pretty
That's
dope.
cool.
So yeah, Master and Dynamics, DC Comics,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard. Come over here.
That thing is so cool. More shoes. Are those the
Dang.
right side
we go.
shoes?
Yeah, the other ones.
Yeah. For the most part, this is the opposite side, but there are
Yeah.
some non-repeats, but a lot of it's repeats from downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're looking at these, can you pull up that New Balance one?
Yeah. Yeah. You want me to go ahead and play it?
Yeah, it's the one for this shoe right here.
All right, cool. Here comes the New Balance.
So
Dang.
rad.
Them threads, yo.
Yeah.
I love the sound design.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's our boy JM does the sound design for us. He's out of Alabama.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yep. So this is the first time I've had my own office, and so figuring out where I wanted it to be, what I wanted it to be like, that was fun, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So 44 Bill did an amazing job with this. Check out this door. I'm gonna
That
get
door
close
is
to it.
insane.
Oh yeah.
Watch
yeah.
the hinge. Watch the hinge on this door. It doesn't slam.
Oh wow. Its pivot.
Yeah.
Its pivot point is offset, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So they did an amazing job figuring that out, and yeah. So this is my office, and this is what we call the vertigo ledge. You come over here, and it's pretty fun. It's from floor to ceiling glass.
Jeez.
Man. Oh, so there's not even. Is there trim on the bottom? Oh yeah, there's trim on the bottom. Right? A little bit.
Kind of.
Makes you feel like you're gonna walk off.
Yeah. So from here, I get to look out over the lobby there. And then it was real important to me that if I was going to be in my own office, I wanted to be able to have my door open. And which is why I asked for the door to be like a big 5.5 foot wide door.
Yeah.
So that I could feel like I'm part of the room and not just like completely removed. So
Right.
this door is open like 98% of the time. And then I just close it every once in a while for a phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as you come back here,
Rad.
and this is all reclaimed wood. They literally got it off of barns somewhere in the middle of Texas off of some weed farm.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Concrete wall.
Yeah. You
You did have a window.
paved over. Yeah. You paved over the window, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. There used to be a window here. Yep. Yeah.
That's super rad, dude.
So
Does the dynamic feel different at all because it's such a bigger space now? And
It
having
does.
people downstairs for the moment, you know?
Yeah, the plan was to split up at some point, and we didn't really know exactly when that would be, if it would be 2 years from now, you know? So we've split up just because of the social distancing. But I don't know that we'll stay that way.
Yeah.
We'll likely come back up all to the top floor, and then the bottom desks will be room to grow.
Yeah.
Now I got 2 more videos I think here. You want to do those as well?
Sure. Yeah. So probably Master and Dynamics is the one that one we actually have. I'll show you where it exists over here. So Master Dynamics is an amazing headphone brand that we've gotten to work with. Kevin Durant is part owner of the company, which is pretty awesome for me since I'm a basketball fan. So these are their headphones, and if you want to roll that spot.
All right, this is Master and Dynamic. Here we go.
Nice. Pretty.
We need an applaud track. We need an audience track there. Yeah.
And then I think the last one you've got is the Curry 6 campaign that we did for this shoe. Right.
Man. All right, here we go. I'll play that one too.
I might turn up by myself. I don't need opinion, no, I did this for myself.
Nice.
Man.
I haven't seen that one. Is that
Are
one
you
new?
serious?
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Did y'all shoot that as well?
No, they provided the footage on that one.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Looks
I think
great.
that's about it. Yeah. So obviously super stoked. This has been kind of a big personal project of mine over the last 8 months or so. And so seeing it come to fruition and finalize here in literally like the last days, it's been pretty awesome. Pretty stoked.
That's awesome.
Well, wish we could hit the keg and have a cold one and chat with everybody over there, but we'll have to wait.
Sure.
David Brodura in the chat's curious when Rob Deirdrick is moving in.
Yeah, I invited him to the open house party. I tried to get him there.
Yeah, man. Oh, anything else you want to show us? Have we gotten the full tour? Did we see the server room, the bathrooms, do we need to go that far?
Nah.
Every light.
Yeah, did they
switch?
tag up the bathrooms too?
Yeah.
There's no toilet paper in the bathroom.
Right.
No reason to see it.
Right.
That's funny.
True.
Funny.
Well, that was fun. I mean, at least everybody got to check it out, you know?
Hey, you have
Yeah.
I saw on your Instagram you got some T-shirts. Are you selling the T-shirts?
We're gonna hold off right now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, figured we'd hold off.
Save one for me, large.
Yeah, we'll have them. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Barton, thanks for doing this with us. It's kind of on the fly, just the last minute we worked this out. So I'm glad everything went pretty smooth for the most part, technically. And
Yeah, man, I can't wait to come see it in person.
yeah.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for doing the tour. Are there any questions we should entertain, or we gotta get going?
Well, there's a question here about studio monitors. How do you I guess how you work with the team on final renders. Where are you usually looking at that? I guess if you're bringing up the spot to look at it somewhere, or are you just doing that on whoever's monitor you're or station you're at?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it in different monitors. Obviously, everybody around the studio is working on it at various times. We're checking it on phones, things like that.
And just
Cool.
yeah, is it kind of like, you know, when you work in audio, the first thing you do, you got to take the mix that you did and you got to go listen to it in your car. Do you do the same thing? Do you go like you got to watch it on the different formats, see how it looks on iPhones and other screens as well?
I mean, it's all part of the workflow, right? So anytime we're just posting proofs and, you know, using papers or Dropbox or anything like that, half the time I'm viewing it on my phone anyway.
Right.
And then I view it on a desktop when I'm behind a desktop. So by the time we get to a final project, we're viewing it on a variety of sources.
Any other
That's right, man.
any other questions in the chat? Going once, going twice.
Well, thanks everyone for who came to tour.
A Sunday evening stream.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the old podcast time, right?
This is when we used to podcast. It's late. It's time to watch Westworld now. I don't know what you're talking
Right.
about.
That's funny.
Cool.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you being on. Matt and I are going to be doing some crazy live stream goodness this week, so stay tuned. We have a very long stream ahead of us, and maybe renders too. You never know.
Yeah.
You'll have to stay tuned and see. We won't tell you anything about it. You just have to tune in
Yep.
Nice.
and just see what we're doing tomorrow morning. Man, I really want to shoot some hoops on that right now.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
It's awesome. Cool.
Well, stay safe out there. Stock up on the TP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the water.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get out of here. I won't do my usual spiel or anything like that, so don't worry. Again, alreadybeenchewed.tv if you want to check it out online. Barton, your handles on all of your things, what are your handles?
Yeah, at Already Been Chewed and at Barton Damer. BartonDamer.
Cool. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thanks a lot. Until next time, I'm Dave.
I'm Matt.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
See ya.